Hello. So we'll be starting off with time, speed, and distance. Okay. We are at time, speed, and distance. This particular chapter is again one of the most foundation chapters, one of the most easy, I would rather say, one of the most easy foundation level chapters which you need to know. And again, around two or three questions in every exam. You will definitely see two or three questions in every exam. So, what do we actually talk about here? We talk about time being a measure of the passing of time, okay, the most basic quantity. Then we talk about speed being equal to the rate of distance covered, okay, speed being a rate of distance covered, and length being a measure of what, total distance traveled, or I would rather say distance, I would rather say distance being a portion of length, or distance being a measure of length covered between the initial and the final point by the body. What do we usually have here? We have usually a man or a bus or a car or a train, or rather any object. Any object can come in and that can travel some distance. What we usually have to find out is we have to find out speed sometimes relative speed, sometimes distance, sometimes time, anything. Okay, anything can be found out. So the most fundamental unit or the most fundamental formula which you must learn in the time speed distance chapter is speed. The value of speed is nothing but distance upon time. This formula can be tweaked in many ways. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Distance can be equal to time. Distance can be equal to speed into time, and time can be equal to distance upon speed. So this kind of a combination and everything is easily possible. It's very much possible that such a situation may occur. So whenever such a situation occurs, always keep in mind that speed is equal to distance upon time. Just pick the formula and apply it anywhere you want to. I know I'm overdoing it. I'm overdoing the theory part, but the reality is there are so many students who don't know even this, and that's a majority of students who don't know even the simple basics. So the class is primarily for them, and everybody else, they can pick up whatever knowledge they can get through this class. Okay, I'll move on. A truck is running at a speed of 75 kilometers per hour. In 4 hours, how much distance will it travel? Okay, I'll use the same formula. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Speed is equal to distance upon time. The speed is already given as 75. The distance needs to be found out, and the time has been given as 4 hours. Okay, the speed has been given in kilometers per hour. If you see the units, it is 75 kilometers upon hours, because it is 75 kilometers per hour. When this goes up because of cross multiplication, this gets multiplied with 4 hours, and the output is nothing but distance. To find out the unit of distance, you will have to simplify or sublime down the units of the equation on the left hand side. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell is simply cut off the units. The hour gets cancelled with hours because it is per hour over here. So whatever we are left with is kilometers. 75 fours are 300. So the answer to this question is 300 kilometers of distance. Okay, so or the distance is equal to 300 kilometers. It's as simple as that. We are again stuck on, or I would rather say we are again focusing on the main standard formula that speed is equal to distance upon time. Got it? I'll quickly move on. In how much time, in minutes, will Nikhil take to cover 600 meters if he runs at a speed of 24 kilometers per hour? Now, the units are not aligned in the same line. The units which we have over here are not aligned properly. What do I mean by that? The speed is given in kilometers per hour and the distance is given in meters. So the units are not aligned. And the time that is asked by us or by the question is supposed to be answered in minutes. Okay, the time that is asked has to be answered in minutes, so the units are definitely not aligned. So what I'll start off with, I would first convert speed from kilometers per hour to meters per second. Okay, from kilometers per hour to meters per second. How does that work? Whenever we are converting speed from kilometers per hour into into meters per second, we have to multiply it by 5 upon 18. Okay, we have to multiply it by 5 upon 18. So we have 24 over here. 24 has to be multiplied by 5 upon 18. I will come down to the origin of 5 upon 18 as well. Hold your seats, okay? Need not go anywhere. I will tell you how 5 upon 18 came into existence. For now, I'll quickly try to solve the question and convert the speed into meters per second. Okay, so this is 6 4s are 24. This is 6 3s are 18. This is nothing but 20 upon 3. The speed is 20 upon 3. Got it? 20 upon 3. Now, now I need to, as I have my speed in 20 upon, as 20 upon 3, I'll quickly use my star formula. The star formula talks in this direction that speed is equal to distance upon time. The star formula talks about speed is equal to distance upon time. So the speed that I have over here is 20 upon 3, and the distance that I have over here is 600 meters. The speed has a unit of 20 upon 3 meters per second, and this is 600 meters. And I would get my time, but in seconds. Okay, so this is 20, and this is going to be 30. Yeah, 90. So I get time as 90 seconds, and in those 90 seconds I have to convert it into minutes. So for 90 seconds, 90 upon 60, 60 being equal to, for every 1 minute there are 60 seconds in it. So 90 upon 60, which is equal to 1.5 minutes. So I have my answer over here as B, 1.5 minutes. There is a very important point which I wish to discuss with you, that how 5 by 18 came into being. So every time you have to convert a unit from kilometers per hour into meters per second. To convert the kilometer unit, you have to multiply it by 1000. Why? Because 1 kilometer has 1000. 1 kilometer has 1000 meters in it. So I get 1000 meters. And for converting hours into seconds, 1 hour has 60 minutes and 1 minute has 60 seconds. So this 1000 upon 60 into 60, or simply I'll have to put it in a box. That's very important. Okay. This is the conversion area which we are using up. This is the conversion area which we are using up. 1000 upon 60 into 60. This becomes 1000 upon 3600. The two zeros go. This becomes 2 5s are 10 and 2 18s are 36. So this becomes 5 by 18. So 5 by 18 is a universal factor. Whenever we are converting from kilometers per hour into meters per second, you have to multiply that particular magnitude with 5 by 18. Okay, I hope that is clear. Similarly, if any value is given in meters per second and it is supposed to be converted into kilometers per hour, instead of 5 by 18, you'll quickly flip it up, and flipping it would give you 18 upon 5 whenever you are converting from meter per second to kilometer per hour. Okay, I hope I've given you the origin of 5 over 18. Okay, so this is the standard talk that needs to be done. I hope the question was easy. I hope everybody could solve it. Yep, let me go ahead. Now, sometimes the distance is constant and the speed varies. Let's assume that I have to go to school. Okay, I have to go to school, and I travel. My school is 10 kilometers away, and I'm walking to school. Okay, and I'm walking to school, and here's my school. Okay, this is an establishment, and it is more of a hut because most of the people who have very bad drawing skills, the best thing that they can draw is a hut, and maybe that too in a very bad condition. Okay, I have to go to school from my home. The home might be in the best condition, but the school is most of the times in a bad condition. I shouldn't say that because the schools have definitely improved a lot, but just for fun, I'm saying it. Okay, this is the home and this is the school. I have two ways of going forward. I can walk to school, and my walking speed is 5 kilometers per hour. The other thing is I can take a bike to school. Okay, students who are underage, everybody is underage when they are in school. So I would rather say e-bike, and that too the limit is capped to 40 kilometers per hour. This is a limit capping. Okay, so as to not sound illegal in my class, the 40 kilometer hour is the max speed. Is the max speed. But my father told me that you need not drive more than 20 kilometers per hour. So 20 kilometers per hour is the speed at which I will drive. So this is my bike speed and that is my walking speed. How much time would it take me to reach the school when I'm walking? I have 10 kilometers of distance to be done with 5 kilometers per hour of speed. So I will reach school in 2 hours. Similarly, I have again 10 kilometers of distance to be done with 20 kilometers per hour of speed. I would reach in 30 minutes. Okay, half an hour or 30 minutes. So these are the two situations. In this particular situation, I was always, in both the times, I was going to the school, right? I was going to the school in both the situations. So there would be situations when you have to go to the same place, the speed might change, the time might change. So this in this situation, what would happen is that we would equate both the distances together. We would equate both the distances together. In distance 1, be it the same distance with distance 2, the speed 1 would be multiplied by time 1. Similarly, in distance 2, the speed 2 would be multiplied by time 2. So when speed 1 is multiplied by time 1, this because you're equating the distances, then the speed 2 would be multiplied by time 2. And this is the standard formula which we are talking about. Okay? Okay, this is the particular question, or this is the particular formula that we're talking about. Always remember speed is equal to distance upon time. Need not remember anything else. Okay, even if you fail at times, you'll still come through. Okay, the question here says that Sheetal covers a certain distance in 9 hours at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. If she wants to cover the same distance in 6 hours, then by how much will she have to increase her speed in kilometers per hour? So let me quickly use the previous formula. V1 into T1 is equal to V2 into T2. Okay. V1 into T1 means V1 basically is velocity. V1 is equal to velocity. Velocity is another name of speed. People use it interchangeably, but the real reason behind something being called velocity and something being called speed has a very standard difference. When we talk about speed, when we talk about speed, we whenever we talk about speed, we get to a point, we get to a point that the body is traveling in any direction. The body is traveling in any direction. that means it can go zigzag, it can go round and round. That time the body definitely has speed. But when we talk about velocity, at that time, at that time, my body will have to go only in in straight line. Okay, the body will have to go only in a straight line. That is velocity, that is speed. Got it, the difference? But here, particularly in this chapter, we will be using it interchangeably. I really wanted you to know the real differences between the two, right? I'll now quickly solve the question. 9 hours is the time being taken to cover a distance of 40 kilometers per hour. If the same distance needs to be covered in 6 hours, then how much speed needs to be changed, or what new speed would come into the question? Okay, what new speed would come into the question? So 9 fours are 36. I have 360 here, is equal to 6 multiplied by speed 2. Okay, I'll quickly call it speed 2. So 6 ones are 6 and 6 6 are 36. So the new speed or speed 2 is 60 kilometers per hour. But this is not my final answer. The question being asked is how much increase in speed is expected. So the previous speed was 40, the new speed is 60. So the increase is 20 kilometer per hour. Right? That is my final answer. The real change in speed is 20 kilometers per hour. Good enough? I'll quickly move on. A person covers 28 kilometers while walking at a speed of 8 kilometers per hour. How much distance will he cover in the same time if he walks at 6 kilometers per hour? Okay, so now we have the concept of time being same. Okay, when we have to equate time 1 being equal to time 2, I'll quickly write in the corner that speed is equal to distance upon time. If I'm supposed to equate time, then I would have to equate distance 1 upon speed 1 is equal to distance 2 upon speed 2. Okay, if I'm equating time, the time is same, the distance is 28 in the first situation, and 8 kilometers per hour is the scene. The distance 2 needs to be found out, and in that scene 6 kilometers per hour is the speed. Okay, cool enough. I'll quickly solve it. 4 2s are 8, 4 7s are 28, 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6. Now 3 7s are 21. So 21 kilometers is equal to my distance 2. Okay, 21 kilometers is equal to my distance 2. I hope that is sufficient. I hope that is good. Let me move on. Yeah. What do we talk about over here? We talk about the difference in time. Okay, we'll come to the question, then we'll be able to understand the concept better. There are times, when a student or when a body would go faster and reach earlier, or there are times when a body would go slower and reach later. What do I mean when I say earlier or later? I mean to say the expected time gets changed. Let's assume at 8 a.m. I have to reach school. If I go fast, I would reach at 7:50. If I go slow, I would reach at 8:10. What is the difference between these two times? First of all, I am arriving 10 minutes late over here. Sorry, I'm arriving 10 minutes early over here. I'm saving 10 minutes over here, and here I'm arriving 10 minutes late. So that is the difference between the two times. Also, I'm driving faster here, and I am driving slower here. Okay. We will also introduce the concept of ratios in this particular question. Okay. We will also introduce the concept of ratios in this particular question. What do we talk about here? Okay, what do we talk about here? If if I travel at a higher speed, my time would be lesser. Conversely, if I travel at a lower speed, my time would be higher. Okay, if I travel at a lower speed, my time would be higher. This shows a relationship between speed and time. From here, I can come out to a conclusion that speed is inversely proportional to time. That speed is inversely proportional to time, or time is inversely proportional to speed. Speed is inversely proportional to time, or time is inversely proportional to speed. Okay, so that means if I have a speed ratio, it would be inversely proportional to the time ratio. It would be inversely proportional to the time ratio. This is what we learn in this, right? Speed ratio is inversely proportional to the time ratio, because when I increase my speed, I tend to cross the given distance in a less amount of time, and if I reduce my speed, I tend to I tend to reach later. Okay, I tend to get late. So I'll solve this question for you first. I'll use a different pen. I'll use a green pen because I believe I have occupied a lot of space. I'll try to finish off the question here and here. Okay, this is the area I would use for answers. Okay, now there are meanwhile I was explaining all of this, I'm sure you would have read the question, but I'll read it one more time. If a boy goes from his home to his school at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour, he reaches 10 minutes early. If he goes at a speed of 35 kilometers per hour, he reaches 5 minutes late. What will be the time taken for the journey at a speed of 35 kilometers per hour? Okay. Firstly, I'll write down the ratio of the speeds. The ratio of the speed in the first go is 40, and in the second go, it is 35. From here, I can say that the ratio of the time is inversely proportional to the ratio of speeds. Speed is 40 upon 35, or simply 8 upon 7. The ratio of time is not going to be 8 upon 7, it is going to be 7 by 8. From this, if we multiply speed into time, so in the first equation, I can say that 280 is the distance that I traveled. Similarly, in the second equation, when I multiply 8 into 35, I can again come to the conclusion that the distance is 280 kilometers. Why is this information important for you? This information tells you that both the times the child went from his home to the school only. Okay, that is why it is important. This ratio game also helps you in understanding if you're going in the right direction or not. If 70 into 40 is 280 and 8 into 35 is also 280, that means you're doing fine. Had the responses been different, that means you had fumbled or you had made a small mistake. Okay, so you also need to have checkpoints in your preparation each and every time you solve such questions. I have the ratio with me, I have everything with me. Now, there is a time gap. There is a time gap. When I was talking about reaching early by 10 minutes at 7:50, and when I was talking about reaching late by 10 minutes at 8:10, there is a certain gap that was created between 7:50 and 8:10. This particular gap that I'm referring to is a 20-minute gap. Okay, over here. But when I talk about things being here, at the first instance, when the boy was going faster, there was a 10-minute time saved. Similarly, when the boy was going slower, there was a 5-minute time loss. Okay, 5-minute time loss or 5 minutes late. So the gap between the two times is nothing but 15 minutes. Okay, this gap between the two times is nothing but 15 minutes. So when I have 40 over here, and when I have 35 over here, and I have 7 here and 8 here, this being the ratio of time, this being the ratio of speed, I'm just trying to get a little more space for myself. So the gap which I have received over here is that of 1 unit. Why do I say 1 unit? I say 1 unit because 8 minus 7 is 1. Okay, so the gap is 1 unit, and this gap of 1 unit is equal to 15 minutes. Okay, this gap of 1 unit is equal to 15 minutes. So if 1 unit is equal to 15 minutes, then 8 units is equal to 120 minutes. Similarly, 7 units is equal to 105 minutes. So I have cracked the code and reached the time. Okay, 105 and 120. These are both in minutes. I can anytime change them into hours. So the question is, what will be the time taken for the journey at the speed of 35 kilometers per hour? Okay, I need to tell the time taken by the journey taken at 35 kilometers per hour. Here I had multiplied 15 minutes with 8, and I had received the time as 120 minutes. So my final answer is 120 minutes or 2 hours. Okay, 120 minutes or 2 hours. Got it? Got it? Yeah. So let's move on. A fast local of Mumbai takes 45 minutes less than a slow local for a journey of 150 kilometers. If the speed of the fast local is 10 kilometers per hour more than that of the slow local, then find the speed of the slow local train. Okay, find the speed of the slow local train. In such a situation, what would we do? So we are going to continue with the same question. The question says that there's a fast local and it takes 45 minutes less than a slow local for a journey of 150 kilometers. If the speed of the fast local is 10 kilometers per hour more than that of the slow local, find the speed of the slow local train. Now, you have to follow a very standard approach in such questions. Okay, you have to follow a very standard approach in such questions. What does the approach just talk about? The approach says that the time difference between the first and the second train has been given as 45 minutes. And all the units that we are talking about are in kilometers per hours except the time difference. So convert the 45 minutes into hours. When 45 minutes is converted into hours, it is divided by 60. This comes out to be 3 by 4. Then, as we know that speed is equal to distance upon time, then time would be equal to distance upon speed. So the first time that we have here is the faster train. The faster train would take lesser time. No, the first time that we have here is the slower train. The slower train is traveling 150 kilometers per hour, and the speed has to be found out minus the faster train is also traveling 150 kilometers per hour. Sorry, is also traveling 150 kilometers, but with a speed which is 10 kilometers higher, and the difference between them is equal to 3 by 4. There is an easier method to it as well. I will let you know about it later, but focus on this first. This would lead to a quadratic equation which is not very difficult to solve. Okay, so 150 is taken common, it is taken on the other side in the denominator. This would come out to be upon 150. 3 ones are 3, 3 50s are this creates 1 upon 200 over here, and this leaves 1 upon s, 1 upon s minus, or 1 upon s plus 10. S plus 10 minus s, it gets cancelled out, 10 is left behind. S is multiplied by s plus 10. and this is 1 upon 200. This makes it 2000 is equal to S multiplied by S plus 10. Okay. When you arrive at such a situation, you can go into the quadratic equation side and solve for the value of S. But if we look a little closely, we have to create 2000 with the help of two numbers. We have to create 2000 with the help of two numbers which are 10 units apart. So for creating 2000, we use 5 and 4, because 5 fours are 20, or 50 40s are 2000. So 50 multiplied by 40 is a situation in which the gap is 10 and the multiplication is 2000. So this is my answer. We are very close to the answer. The question is, what is the speed of the slower local train? The slower local train would be equal to S, because S plus 10 is the faster one. So the one which is lower in both of them is 40. So 40 is my answer. There is another way of doing the same question. Okay, there's another way of doing the same question. What's the way? The way is that 45 minutes less. Okay, we have 150 kilometers journey with us. Okay, we have a 150-kilometer journey with us. When we talk about d is equal to speed into time. We have to find out a combination of speed into time such that it satisfies 150 kilometers as the distance. To satisfy 150 kilometers as the distance, look at what all options we have. We have options as 30 kilometers per hour speed and 5 hours of time. Okay, this is 35 kilometer per hour speed into 5 hours of time, which gives me 150 kilometers of distance. Similarly, 3 hours of time multiplied by 50 kilometers per hour of speed, 50 kilometers per hour of speed. So we you have two easy combinations over here, and the options are also pretty close. Okay, the options are close to 30. The options are also close to 50. Now if you bring this situation in your brain, if you try to bring this situation in your brain, that this is the speed of the faster train, according to the question you can reach the slower train's speed. The slower train's speed is 50 minus 10, which is 40, and the time gap taken by the slower train would be 44 minutes more, 45 minutes more. So 3 hours and 45 minutes means 3 by 4. When you multiply both of them, you get the answer as 4 3s are 12. This is 15 by 4 into 40, and the kilometer comes out to be the same as 150 kilometers. Okay, this the new speed, or the lower speed, new speed, when multiplied by the new time. When the new speed is multiplied by the new time, it is giving us the same constant as that of 150. That is why it means my answer is correct. Now, had I taken the wrong option, my wrong option was 30 kilometers per hour multiplied by 5 hours. This is a faster train. Okay. Is it a faster or a slower train? Yeah, this is the faster train. This is a slower train, let's assume. If I go in the direction of 20, slower train, and I give it 5, 3 by 4. 4 5 is 20, 23 by 4, 23 by 4, 23 by 4 multiplied by 20. 4 5 is 20, and 5 3 is 15. This just gives me 115 kilometers of distance, which is not accurate. I'm supposed to, I need to have 150 kilometers per hour. So this is a wrong way of solving it. The right way of solving it is to reach here. This kind of a solution, which I have written over here in yellow, is the most difficult solution that you would ever find. Okay, this is the most difficult, and this comes with a lot of experience. This comes with a lot of experience, so you can avoid it completely. For the ones who still understand what I was talking about, please apply it in the examinations, because there are multiple questions on the same lines which come. There are multiple questions in the same line which come, and you can solve them through this approach. Got it? Moving on. Now, we are now going to talk about trains. Okay, these are the wheels of the trains. This is the entire bogie, and Maybe I'll try to draw it in the best way possible. Okay, I'll try to draw it in the best way possible. And this is the engine, this is the entry door, and this is the entire train. Okay, this is the entire train. The train always has a length. Okay, the train always has a length until and unless it is specified that the train has a single engine. um, the train has a single engine and there is no length of the engine given. Train usually or always has a length. Okay, there is a distance a train always travels, and the distance is equal to the length of the train. When is this distance traveled? Whenever the train passes a point sized object. What do I mean by point sized object? It can be a pole, it can be a man. Why do I call a pole and a man point sized object? Because relatively speaking to the train, or I can even call um, a car to be a point size object relative to the size of the train. The pole is nothing but a vertical stand, so very less length. The man is also almost a vertical stand, very less length. And definitely cars are, let's assume, sub 4 meter or something. But in questions usually they are not mentioned of what the size of the car is, so at this point we are assuming that everything in comparison to a train, unless it is a platform, unless it is another train, unless a second distance is given, everything else is a point sized object. Got it? Got it? All the formulas applied to a train are the same. The length of the train divided by the time of the train is equal to the speed of the train. The length of the train upon speed of the train is equal to the time of the train. Okay? Speed is equal to distance upon time. And this is a universal formula. It has to, or it can be applied anywhere and everywhere. Okay? Good enough? Good enough? I hope you're able to understand everything. Yep. Let's move on. A train running at the speed of 140 by 9 kilometers meters per second crosses a pole in 27 seconds. Find the length of the train. Okay. The length of the train is also the distance traveled by the train, as I mentioned in the previous slide. I'll quickly change the color of my pen and solve it. Speed is equal to distance upon time. 140. Okay, I have the speed as 140 upon 9. The distance needs to be calculated. I can even call it, or length of the train has to be calculated. It is th. Okay, length of the train has to be calculated. 27 seconds the time has been given. 9 ones are 9, 9 threes are 27, 3 14s are 420. The units were meter per second. The units were meter per second. The final answer is also meters per second, which is the I'm sorry, which is the length. I'm very sorry, which is the length. Okay, this is not meter per second. This is going to be only meter. Okay, this is going to be only meters. Okay, I hope I've made myself very clear. This question was also easy. Simple speed is equal to distance upon time. You'll see that the concepts vary a lot. Sometimes there are trains, sometimes there are men, sometimes there are cars that are moving. So the concept can vary a lot, but speed is equal to distance upon time remains the same throughout the world or even outside the world. Okay, it remains the same. Okay, quickly moving forward. The time in which a train 1800 meters long traveling at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour will pass a signal pole. A signal pole also has zero distance, so that is why only 1800 meters is the total distance the train will have to cover. It will have to only pass itself. Let's assume that this is a pole, this mic is a pole, and I'm asked when does let me see if the mic, if this is completely visible. Yeah, this is completely visible. Let's assume that this is a pole that we're talking about. Okay, this is a pole that we're talking about, and the train is this stylus pen. Okay, this is a stylus pen. This stylus pen comes, it touches the pole, and it starts moving forward. Let's assume that this is also a single, this is also a 2D object. Let's assume for a while that it is a 2D object with negligible width. I'm assuming this width to be negligible. So, okay, or I can assume this purple thing, okay? This purple thing is a single pole which has to be crossed by a train. The train is over here in my hand. Okay, is there something stuck to it? No, everything is fine. Yeah. So this is a single pole point object, and this is a train which is passing it. If I am asked how much time the train will take to completely pass the pole, this means as soon as the train touches the pole, or as soon as the train is at level with the pole, this is the point where it is at level with the pole, the clock starts to tick. Okay, and till the time the train doesn't completely pass the pole, till this point, till this point, okay, as soon as it goes away from it, as soon as it goes away from it, at that time the time stops. So the train is doing nothing but traveling itself, traveling its own distance, its own length. Okay, no extra length it is traveling, it's only traveling its own length. That is why the train is 1800 meters long, and that would be the distance it has to travel to cross a pole or any point sized object. 1800 meters, I am at 1800 meters traveling at 30 kilometers per hour, traveling at 30 kilometers per hour. I need to I need to check the time for this. The time has been asked in seconds. So I'll first convert 30 kilometers per hour into 5 by 18. This would give me 6 threes are 18, 6 fives are 30. This gives me my speed as 25 by 3 meters per second. Speed is equal to distance upon time. I need to find out the time. The speed has been given as, has been found out as, or converted into 25 upon 3. The distance is 1800 meters, and the time that is being covered is t. Okay, which we need to find out. One very peculiar thing you will see that I did not tweak the formula of speed is equal to distance upon time into time is equal to distance upon speed. It's better that you learn one formula. You can do the cross multiplication part later. Okay. 25 ones are 25 fours are 4 18s are 72 72 threes are 6 216. Yeah. So 216 seconds is my answer. Okay. 216 seconds is my answer. I hope you were able to understand. Right? Let's move on. Okay. When a train is passing a platform or a bridge or a tunnel, all these all these lengths that a train can pass are not point sized. Okay, these are not point sized. Why? Because they have a relatively relatively long length when compared to a train. It is not 5 meter 10 meter, it is 500 meters or maybe even 1 kilometer. Okay, the platform can be that big, a bridge can be that big, and a tunnel can be that big. There is also an important point which you need to know, that the platform, the bridge, or the tunnel, all of them are stationary. All of them are stationary. Okay, why is it stationary? I think ARY would be the one. I really can't remember the spelling. Stationary, by stationary, I mean that it is stable, it is not moving. Okay. There is a very good point that this is a very good find, or this is a very good clause which you also need to understand, that all these forms of objects are stationary in nature. Had they been any moving objects, they would have a very significant impact on the speed of the train. Okay, if it is moving away from the train, or it is moving in the same direction of the train, then the speed would have reduced. Had they been moving in the opposite direction of the train, the speed would have increased. Okay, so this is a very significant part. You need to understand that platform, bridge and tunnels do not move. That is why they do not bring any change in the speed. The only change that they bring is they increase the distance. They increase the distance. This is the only part which they change a lot. Got it? Got it or not? I hope you have. Okay, I'll quickly move on. How do they increase the distance? Just let me quickly do it. The speed of the train remains the speed of the train. The distance of the train or the length of the train remains the same. Plus the distance of the platform, bridge or tunnel gets added up. Okay, these are upon signs or signs, and dt, or the distance whole upon the time, remains the, or the time increases because it's a longer length that has to be covered now. Okay, moving ahead. A train is running at a speed of 99 kilometers per hour. If the train is 565 meters long, then what will be the time in seconds taken by it to cross a 975-meter long tunnel? According to the formula on in the previous question, speed is equal to distance upon time. As I've told you, this is the most important formula which you must remember. This is the most important formula which you must remember. So, because of this, uh, the speed, okay, I need to give everything in seconds. So, I'll convert 99 kilometers per hour into seconds, which is 99 into 5 by 18. This is in meters per second. Okay, 9 2s are 18, 9 11s are 99. This is 55 by 2. I will use 55 by 2 as it is. Okay, or let me rewrite it as 55 upon 2 as it is. If the train 565 meters long, okay, now I'll quickly use the formula of speed is equal to distance upon time. The distance has increased now. The distance of the train is equal to 565 meters. This speed was in meters per second, and the distance of the tunnel, the distance of the tunnel is 975 meters. So 975 plus 565, this gives me a 140 and 1400, 1540. Okay, 1540, 1540. This is a good multiple of 11 which goes at 14. And the time has been given. No, the time has to be found out. The speed has been given as 55 upon 2. So this 55 upon 2 goes here. 1411 and 140 makes it 1540 whole upon time. 11 5s are 55, 11 1s are 11, and 140. Okay, sorry. All right. This gives me 70. No, this gives me 2. This gives me 28. This gives me t as 56 seconds. Okay, this gives me t as 56 seconds. Okay, I hope you're able to understand. Easy enough. Easy enough. Okay, let me move on. Train having length 330 meters takes 11 seconds to cross 550 meters long bridge. How much time will the train take to cross a 570 meters long bridge? Okay, okay. I'll quickly first find out the speed of the train. The speed of the train is equal to the length of the train, 330, upon the time taken by the train to cross a pole. No, there is a small mistake. To cross the first bridge, this is going to be 330 plus 550, because this is the entire length the train is going to take up. Okay, there is a very easy way to it as well. Okay, I'll first, this is 880, or it gives me 80 meters per second as my speed. Now, with this 80 meters per second as my speed, I can say speed is equal to distance upon time. The new distance is going to be 330 plus 570, which is going to be 900. Okay, distance upon time. 80 meter per second is the new speed. The time would come out to be 900 upon 80. Okay, so this is going to be 2 4s are 8 and 2 45s are 90. This gives me my answer as 45 upon 4. I can equate the speed of the train on both sides. I can easily write a distance upon time and the other distance upon time are supposed to be equal. The alternate method to do this would be 330 plus 550 is taking 11 seconds. How much time would 330 plus 570 take up? Okay, this is the simple alternate method. Okay, this is the simple alternate method which we have, right? Good to go. I'll quickly go to the next question. I didn't talk about much. I didn't. I didn't talk much about the speed is equal to distance upon time thing, because I believe that after this 45 or around 50-minute lecture, this thing must be ingrained in your brain, that speed is equal to distance upon time. Right? I'll move ahead. Okay, when a train passes a pole and a bridge and a tunnel and a platform, I think I have already talked about this. Passes a pole and a bridge. What? Okay. So now we are going to talk about the train passing a pole as well as a bridge. Okay. This is how you will find out the speed. By simply the train passing a pole, you can easily find out the speed of the train. And you can apply the same speed of the train with the equation of a bridge and a tunnel. Okay. This is nothing but a different way of solving the same question. Right? A different way of solving the same question. Okay. So whenever the train is simply passing a pole, whenever the train is simply passing a pole, at that time the speed is easy to find out. Okay. When it is passing a bridge, tunnel, or platform, at that time the speed which is calculated using the pole is applied inside. Okay, is applied in the other side. Is applied on the other side. Right? I hope you're able to understand. I'll quickly take you to the questions. A train is running at this speed and it is crossing a pole in 12 seconds. How much time will it take to cross a bridge which is 360 meters long? So, first I need to find out the length of the train. That can be found out using the pole formula. Okay, it's not literally a pole formula, but when the train is crossing a pole, the distance it is traveling is its own length. So, I would say that speed is equal to length upon time, the length of the train, okay, the LT upon time. So the speed that I have over here is 72. I will multiply it by 5 by 18 to convert it into meters per second. The length of the train, okay, this is the length of the train needs to be found out, and the time has been given as 12 seconds. 18 ones are 18 fours are 4 fives are 20, 20 12s are 240. 240 meters is the length of the train. Okay, 240 meters is the length of the train. Now, with this information established, I have to add this length up to the bridge's length. Why am I doing it? Because when a train is passing a bridge At that time, it is covering two lengths. First is its own length, and the second length is that of the bridge. So both of them would be added up. Then only the train would be able to cross it completely. Okay. Then only the train is able to cross it completely. Got it? So the full length or the distance that the train is traveling is now going to be equal to 240 plus 360, which is equal to 600 meters. Okay. So 600 meters is the length. The speed of the train remains the same. Distance upon time is equal to speed. The speed came out to be 20 meters per second. According to this area, it came out to be 20 meters per second. So the time over here comes out to be 30 seconds. Okay. The time over here comes out to be 30 seconds. There is an alternate method to solve it as well. The alternate method says that if the train is taking is running at 72 kilometers per hour speed, and it is covering its own length in 12 seconds for 360 kilometers per hour distance, or 360 kilometers, sorry, for 360 meters distance, it would need 72 kilometers per hour speed, which would have to be converted into meters per second. So distance upon speed is equal to time. After solving it, I would get my answer as 18 fours are 72 and 4 fives are 20, 0 gone, and 18. I would get my answer as 18 seconds. If the train had to cross only the bridge, or let's assume the train to be a point sized object and it is only supposed to cross a bridge, it would take 18 seconds extra. Its own length is 12 seconds, 18 seconds is its extra length. That means in 30 seconds, that means in 30 seconds, the entire train will pass the bridge. So this is nothing but alternate way of an alternate method of solving the question. Right? I'll quickly move on. Again, a similar question. A train is running at 40 and a half kilometers per hour. It takes 24 seconds to cross a pole. How much time will it take to pass a 450-meter long bridge? I'll first use the shortcut, then go to the long cut. 40.5 kilometer per hour is the speed. The distance that is supposed to be covered is 450 meters. Time needs to be given. So 40.5 is equal to 450 upon time. The 40.5 will have to be converted into meters per second. I'll quickly take the t over here first. 450 upon 405 into 5 by 18 multiplied. The point would give me another 0 over here. 45 tens are 45 nines are. Okay, so 9 20s are 5 twos are. This gives me 40 seconds. This 40 seconds will have to be added to 24 seconds, because that is the time the train is taking to cross its own length or to cross a pole. So 40 plus 24 is 64. This is the shorter way to solve it. Okay. Now taking the long cut. In this long cut, we will take the distance or the length of the train is equal to find out. Okay. I'll have to reduce the length of the alphabet T. Okay. The length of the train needs to be found out. So 40.5 is equal to length of the train whole upon 24 seconds. Yeah. So this is how we'll be able to find out the length of the train. Length of the train is a hidden trait. It is not even necessary to solve the question. Still, we are solving it. Okay. Um, the length of the train is equal to 40.5 multiplied by 24 multiplied by 5 by 18. Okay. So 9 2s are 18. There's another 10 here. 9 4s are 36. 9 5s are 45. This 2 goes against 12. This 5 goes against 2. This 2 goes against 6. And 6 4s are 24. 24 plus 30. This is 270 meters is the length of the train. Now this length of the train would be added to the length of the bridge. When 270 is added to the length of the bridge, we get 720 meters as the distance that the train will cover to cross the bridge. I have the distance with me. I have the speed with me. The speed is the same as that of 40.5 kilometers per hour. I'll have to convert it back to meters per second. The time needs to be found out. I'll apply it in the same formula. 40.5 multiplied by 5 by 18 speed is equal to 720 meters, which is the distance whole upon the time whole upon 10. Now after solving this, I must get 64 seconds. Okay, I'll try to quickly solve it in front of you. Another 10 comes here. No, this is the default 10 which was here. Okay, this was the default 10. I'm sorry, I tried to introduce a 10 which was never there. Okay, 5 2s are 10, 9 2s are 18, and 9 4s are 36, 9 5s are 45. Again 9 5s are 45, and 9 8s are 72. This is 80. Then 5 16s are, and the time comes out to be 16 4s are 64 seconds. This is the long cut. Okay, this is nothing but the long cut. I hope that's okay. I hope that's completely okay. Let's move on. Okay, when two trains traveling in opposite directions cross each other. Now, we have already established this fact that the distance a train travels to cross a pole is equal to length of the train. Okay, first this thing has to be established in everybody's brain that what I'm actually talking about. Now, let's assume this is train 1 and this is the length it has. Now, this is train 2 and this big thing, okay, this big arrow is the length of train 2. This is train 2, this is train 1. This has length L1, this has length L2. Both of them have different lengths. When they cross each other, the total distance that they would be traveling is the total length of each other added. Okay, the total distance, the distance, the distance in the bracket total that they would be traveling would be equal to L1 plus L2. This point is established. Now, talking about the time they take, that would be something which we have to find out. Talking about the speed they would have, the total speed they would have. Now, try to understand that. I'll change the color for that. Blue. Yeah. Try to understand that the speed that they have. Speed 1 is here. The speed that they have, speed 2 is here. This is speed 1. This is speed 2. Try to understand that they are going to meet each other or they are going to cross each other. Had this been the situation that both of them are on the same track and they are coming towards each other, so they would have crashed into each other very heavily and very strongly, and it would have become a very unfortunate incident. In this situation, the trains are traveling in opposite directions and they basically cross each other. Can you see that my two arms? This one has a stencil and the other one doesn't. So they pass each other. They gently pass each other. So the distance we have established that they would have to pass each other completely. That means the distance is going to be length 1 plus length 2. And when they are passing each other or when they are running towards each other, when a girl and a boy they run towards each other to meet each other, at that time they tend to meet each other very quickly. Okay, they tend to meet each other very quickly. But similarly, in this case, the speeds when they are going towards each other, they are going to add up. Okay, they are going to add up. The speed total is going to be speed 1 plus speed 2. The speed total is going to be speed 1 plus speed 2. I hope I've made myself very clear. Yeah. If somebody asks me the time, it's going to be speed 1 plus speed 2 is equal to length 1 plus length 2 whole upon time. The time taken for them to cross each other completely. Yep. I think I'm running at my positive pace. I hope everybody is able to understand what I have talked about. It's a lot of visualization that time, speed, and distance takes up. The questions are not difficult. You just need to visualize what the right things are and how things are going on. Okay, this is X, this is Y, this is a huge station. Okay, these are huge stations where X and Y are positioned. Train A starts from A and train B starts from, sorry, train A starts from X and train B starts from Y. Okay, they are running on parallel tracks. This is the track of A, this is the track of B, and this is nothing between them. Okay, this is nothing between them. These are tracks that we have. I'm sorry I have to give this visual to all of you, but I believe everybody has the right to learn, and if it takes visuals to grab their attention, I would do that. So A is traveling at a speed of 55 kilometers per hour from station X to towards station Y, and B is traveling at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour. I- They cross each other after 1 hour and 36 minutes. What is the distance between X and Y? Okay, I need to find out the distance between X and Y. Let's say it started from here, and let's say it started from here. They both are traveling towards each other. Whatever time they would take to meet, whatever time they would take to meet each other would be the time they would have traveled from one direction to the other direction. Again, following the same concept of speed being equal to distance upon time, I can conclude that both the speeds would get added up because they are going in opposite directions. They're going towards each other. When I say opposite directions, train moving outside is also an opposite direction. But usually these questions are meant for trains passing each other. Most of the questions are framed in such a manner that they pass each other. That is why they are going towards each other. So the speed is going to get added up. 80 plus 55 is 135. And the distance we are talking about, the distance has to be found out. I would write D, and they would cross, sorry, each other after 1 hour and 36 minutes. That means 1.6. Yeah, instead of writing 1.6, can I write 6 ones are 6 tens are? Now it is supposed to be 1.6. It is supposed to be 1.6. So when 135 is multiplied by 1.6, that is when I get my answer. So the distance is equal to 16 5 is a 80, the 0 is a decimal, 8 goes up, 16 3 is a 48, and this becomes 56, 16 ones are 16, and 216. So 216 kilometers is the distance between the two platforms or the two stations. Okay, between the two stations, 216 kilometers is the distance. I hope we are good. Let's move on. A train traveling at 80 kilometers per hour crosses another train traveling in the same direction at 26 kilometers per hour in 30 seconds. What is the combined length of both the trains? When I talk about speed being equal to distance upon time at that time, what am I doing? What am I doing at that time? Speed is equal to distance upon time. The distance that it is traveling, they are crossing each other. Just a second. Traveling in the same direction. Okay, there is a twist here. Okay, there is a twist here. I'll tell you this twist is very beautiful. Why is it so? There is a reason to it. The first train is traveling at 80 kilometers per hour, and the second train is traveling at 26 kilometers per hour. Let's assume that you are a fast kid and there is a slow kid who is running alongside you. Okay, who is running alongside you. If you're running faster and the slow kid is, let's say, he's ahead of you, he's here. After some time, you would see that even if the slow kid is running, you would overtake the the slow kid. Okay, you would definitely overtake the slow kid after some time. Why does it happen? Number one, because you have a faster speed than the slower kid. So in the same situation, there is a faster train and there is a slower train. Both of them are going in the same direction. If the faster train is, let's say, L1 meters long and the slower train is L2 meters long, for them to completely pass off each other, the total distance it is going to take for them to completely pass each other is going to be length 1 plus length 2. Okay, no matter the trains are coming together, no matter the trains are going away, no matter the trains are running in such a direction that the first one and the second one both are running, the first one and the second one both are running, but the first one overtakes the second one. In all the scenarios, the length of the train are going to get added up. Okay, the length of the train are going to get added up. The only difference we are going to see over here is that the fast kid doesn't seem to be as fast when the slow kid is also running. So the speed net or the effective speed comes out to be speed fast minus speed slow. The net speed comes out to be speed fast minus speed slow. Good enough? Good enough. Okay. Why does it happen? Because they are together running in the same direction, and once they overtake, it seems to be that both of them are having a difference in speeds. But the difference doesn't seem to be so much because both of them are running in the same direction. Okay. Had they been coming together, they would have collided very sharply. But they are going together in the same direction, so the chances of collision have gone down to zero and they're running in the same direction. And it seems as if the faster kid isn't as fast had he been running alone. Okay. So the speed has been found out. I need to find out the combined length of both the trains. So firstly, I'll find out the net speed. The faster train is traveling at 80 and the slower train is is running at 26. So this gives me 54 kilometer per hour net speed. Okay, net speed or the final speed. The time it is showing me, this is 54 is equal to the distance, which is also equal to the length whole upon time. If 54 is the speed and 5 upon 18 is the concept, the distance needs to be found out, and the time is nothing but 30 seconds. 18 ones are 18, 18 threes are 54, 3 fives are 15, 15 thirties are 45. So this gives me 450 meters as the distance, or the combined length of both the trains. Okay, or the combined length of both the trains. I hope that's enough. I hope that is understood, right? So let me move on. When two trains traveling in the same direction cross each other, I have already talked about it. No point in learning a lot of formulas. I will come to it. Two trains of respective lengths are running in the same direction on parallel tracks. If the speed of x and y are this and this, then what will be the time taken by them to cross each other? Simple formula: speed is equal to distance upon time. The distance they have to travel is 550 and 450 added, which comes out to be 1000 meters. The time they need to take has to be found out. The speeds need to be subtracted. 86 minus 58. 86 minus 58 gives me 28 is equal to 1000 upon t. This is 28 kilometers per hour multiplied by 5 by 18 in order to reach um, 2 nines are 18, 2 14s are this, 5 200, and this is 7 and 100. So this is nothing but 900 upon 7. This is the time when we talk about correcting it to a decimal place. I call it 1 to 7. Yeah, 127 seconds. 127 point. Is it mentioned how many hours are required or how many seconds are required? Because this answer is going to come out in seconds. Yeah, it hasn't been asked how many seconds. So 7 ones are 7. I am left with 2. 20. 7 twos are 14. Another 6. 7 eights are 56. 7 eights are 56. Another 4. 7 fives are 35. 7 sevens are 49. So 128.57 is going to be my final answer. Okay. And this answer is in seconds. Right. Let's move on. Did I commit any mistakes over here? Let me check. Yeah, everything seems fine. Okay, let's move on. Two trains of length 200 meters and 250 meters are running on parallel rail tracks with the speed of 68 and 50. In how much time will they cross each other if they are running in the same direction? If they are running in the same direction, 68 minus 50 gives me 18 kilometers per hour multiplied by 5 by 18 to convert it into meters per second. 200 and 250 would be the combined length. So 450 meters would be the combined length, and time taken needs to be found out. 18 is going to get cancelled with 18, 5 is going to get cancelled with this, so 90 seconds is going to be my time. You like the way I solved it? I'll solve it one more time. 68 is the higher speed, 50 is the slower speed. This entire speed has to be multiplied by 5 by 18 in order to reach a point, in order to reach the correct units, which is meters per second. 450 came by adding up 200 plus 250, by adding up 200 and 250, and the time needs to be found out. This came out to be 18 multiplied by 5 by 18. This came out to be 450 whole upon time. 18 gets cancelled by 18. 5 goes with 9. So this is 90. 90 seconds. Got it? Got it? Okay, I'll move on. Okay, when a train and a man move and cross each other in opposite directions, train and a man, see, be it the case of a train or be it the case of a man, the only difference between a train and a man is that a man doesn't have length or no extra distance gets traveled. Okay, no extra distance gets traveled. Remember this very well. A train P traveling at a speed of 15 meters per second is able to cross a platform of 200 meters length completely in 30 seconds. What does it tell and how does it help me? Okay, try to understand this. Approximately how long will it take train P to cross a man who is coming towards the train on his bike at a speed of 27 kilometers per hour? Okay, the question is very beautiful. Why? Because when the train is crossing a platform, it is not only crossing a platform, it is also crossing its own length. Okay, so this simplest formula, speed being equal to distance upon time, here the speed is 15 meters per second, the distance is 200 meters plus length of the train, whole upon time is nothing but 30 seconds. So 15 into 30 makes it 450 meters is equal to 200 plus LT, which gives me the length of the train to be equal to 250 seconds. Sorry, 250 meters. I am very sorry. A few blunders are acceptable. To err is human. Okay, so we have the length of the train. So now, when the man is approaching the train, or maybe going towards it or going away from it, we already have the distance that the man has to cover, which is equal to the length of the train. So, in a perfectly parallel question, how long will it take P to cross a man who's coming towards the train at the bike at the speed of 27 kilometers per hour? The net speed is going to be 15 meters per second plus 27 kilometers per hour. What was the reason that I used both meters per second and kilometers per hour in the same equation? The reason is that I want you to focus on the answer that 15 meters per second and 27 kilometers per hour are not on the same unit. So 15 plus 27 cannot be added in magnitude. Okay. So that is my focus point. 15 plus 7 is not going to give you 42 kilometers per hour or meters per second. You will have to change one of them into you will have to change one of them into the units which are more sustainable, into the units which would be helpful in the exam. Okay, so let me do that quickly. Let me change it to meters per second. So 27 into 5 by 18, 9 twos are 9 threes are 3 15s are 15 by 2 is 7.5. 7.5 plus 15 meters per second. Now they can be added, which gives me 22.5 meters per second, which gives me 22.5 meters per second. Okay, I hope we are ready. Okay, I hope we are ready. We now have the net speed with us. 22.5 is the net speed because both of them are traveling towards each other. That is why the speeds are getting added. 22.5, the distance, total distance that would be traveled would be 250 meters, and the total time that would be taken is equal to something we have to find out. So T upon 250 upon 22.5, this gives me the answer as, another 0 comes here, 225 ones are, 225 tens are, nines are, or 25 ones are, 25 nines are. This gives me 100 upon 9, or my answer as 11, 1 by 9 seconds. Okay, 11 1 by 9 seconds. This is my final answer. Okay, the question is definitely long, but I don't really think that there is a better way to solve it. Let me just see it one more time if I can find a good way to solve it. Okay, let me think out loud. What could have been done? We are traveling at 15 meters per second. We need to know our own train, or I can say that when I'm traveling 15 meters per second for 30 seconds, I know I'm crossing a distance of 450 meters. If I'm crossing a distance of 450 meters, out of which 200 meters was the platform, I could have quickly come to the length of the train. Okay, this is me thinking out loud. You should also have the same discussion in your brain. So the length of the train need not be calculated in a lengthy manner. It could be calculated in a shorter manner. That is where we could have saved a little more time. And then this 27 could have been converted into meters per second in a little more quick manner, so as to bring 7.5 kilometers per meters per second. This could have been the second way of thinking, time saving approach. And then everything had to be done by pen and paper. Okay, you couldn't have done the entire question without, like, by verbally or like thinking about it. Got it? Moving on. The distance between two stations A and B is 800 kilometers. A train X starts from A and moves towards B at 40, another from Y towards B at this. How far from A will they cross each other? Okay, so let's say a train X starts from A. Okay, this is train X and this is train Y. This is at 40, this is at 60. Together, they are supposed to cover 100-kilometer distance, 800 kilometers distance towards each other. If they are running towards each other, they would have 100 kilometer per hour as net speed, and they have to travel a distance of 800 kilometers per hour. This means 800 upon 100, which is equal to 8 hours, would be the net time when they would meet each other. If 8 hours have passed, that means X traveled at 40 kilometers per hour for 8 hours, which is equal to 320 kilometers, and Y had traveled at 60 kilometers per hour at for 60 kilometers per hour for 8 hours, which is equal to 480 kilometers. If you add both of them up, you would see that a total distance of 800 kilometers was covered. So I can see how far from A, as X has started from A and Y has started from B. So whatever distance X has traveled would be the distance from platform number A, or station number A. So 320 kilometers is my answer. Right? I hope you were able to understand. I'll quickly move forward. When a train and a man move and cross each other in the same direction, okay? This is the same concept that we've done when two trains are crossing each other in the same direction, or two people are running together, or two cars are running in the same direction. The only difference whenever they are running in the same direction is, see, first of all, it is a train and a point size object. So the total distance is going to be nothing but length of train. The total time has to be found out in most of the cases, and the total speed is going to be nothing but train minus man. Okay, train minus man, because They are going in the same direction. Okay, I'll just show it to you. They are going in the same direction. The man might be going a little slow as compared to the train, but it still would significantly, or maybe sometimes insignificantly, reduce the net speed. Okay, reduce the net speed. If the man is running, or if the man is in a car, then it would have a larger impact on the net result, which comes out to be the total speed or the net speed. Got it? I'll move on. Okay, a 338-meter long train is traveling at 60 kilometers per hour. It crosses a man traveling in the same direction in 39 seconds. What is the speed of the train? No, no, what's the speed of the man? Okay, the net speed we have to talk about. I have already talked about the net speed being the speed of the train minus the speed of the man. Okay, I already have 60 kilometers as the speed of the train minus the speed of the man. This entire issue is in kilometers per hour, so I'll convert it into meters per second. So I have a very much usable speed, which is 60 minus m multiplied by 5 by 18. I'm not going to write speed is equal to distance upon time because it must be ingrained on your forehead by now. 60 minus mil, which is, this is train speed, this is man speed, and this is 5 by 18, and 338 meters is the length, and traveling in the same direction. There is a same direction, that is why there is a minus sign, and the total time taken is 39 seconds. Okay, 13 threes are 39, 13 twos are 26, 13 six are 78. Did I do something wrong? 26, 78, 13 fives are 65, 13 six are 78. Yep, I think I'm fine. 3 ones are 3 six are 6 6, this is 6 twos are 120, 120 plus 36, 156 whole upon 5. Okay, interesting. I have 156 whole upon 5. This would give me 31.2. And I have 60 minus m. If m goes there and this comes here, I will be left with 28.8 as the speed of man. I think there is some trouble that I've gotten into. There is some trouble that I've gotten into. I'll tell you why. There is a reason to it. Let me erase it a little, and then I will come back to you. Just a second. I really think that the issue that I have created, I might be landing up at the same answer, but I am very much willing to think out loud with you and to speak whatever I'm thinking with you. I believe the mistake that I have committed over here is 60 minus m into 5 by 18. My speed of the man could have been already in meters per second. The only conversion which is supposed to be done is that of 60 kilometers per hour. This is the only conversion that is supposed to be done. So instead of applying 5 by 18 to the entire equation, let me apply 5 by 18 only to 60. Because eventually I would get my answer of m to be conducive to my, to be helpful to me, right? I believe my answer should be helpful to me. Just let me think a little more about it right now. This is 6 tens, this is 6 threes, this is 50 upon 3 minus m is equal to 338 upon 39. I can get m is equal to 50 upon 3 minus 338 upon 39. This is 13 threes are 39. This is 13 twos are 26, and 13 six are 78. Okay, I have 50 upon 3 and 26 upon 3. When they are subtracted, 24 upon 3 would be the answer, and 8 meters per second would be my final answer. See, that is why I was thinking that I have committed a mistake, because the conversion is only going to limit itself to the train, not to the man. You cannot pre-convert a variable from one unit to the other. This is the only learning, and this is the maximum learning that you can get out of this question, that never pre-convert, never prematurely convert a variable's units from meters per second to kilometers per hour or vice versa or anywhere else. Do it once the answer is out. The only difficulty I had was to have 60 in my equation. So I quickly introduced a factor of 5 by 18, which reduced the units of 60 kilometers per hour into something meters per second, which is 50 by 3. Okay. So this is the main output which you have to understand. Good enough? I'll move on. Hmm. A train traveling at 180 kilometers per hour overtakes car traveling at 108 kilometers per hour in 5 seconds. What is the length of the train? If only the length of the train has been asked, it means that the length of the car is insignificant. Okay, so again, using the same thing, the speed is equal to distance upon time. The distance is nothing but the length of the train. The time is nothing but 5 seconds. Similarly, the speed, both of them are traveling in the same direction. That is why there was an overtaking situation. 180 minus 108 is 72, and the 72 has to be multiplied by 5 by 18. This is 18 ones, this is 18 fours, this is 4 fives are 20, 25 is 100. This gives me the length of the train to be 100 meters. Simple. I didn't introduce a lot of variables or even a lot of formulas. I tried to solve it as easily as possible. Moving on. Now, miscellaneous question. Miscellaneous questions. A train is running at this speed. It crosses a man in the same direction in 18 seconds and passes a woman coming from the opposite direction in 12 seconds. What is the speed of the woman? This is basically a dream within a dream. Okay, Inception, the movie, a question within a question. So these are two questions. I'll solve them separately, slowly, slowly. Okay, again, the same concept. Speed is equal to distance upon time. The speed, they are going in the same direction. So the net speed is going to be 48 minus 12, which is equal to 36 kilometers per hour. When multiplied by 5 by 18, this would turn into kilometers per second. Sorry, meters per second. 18 ones are 18 twos are 2 fives are 10. So this is 10 meters per second. This is 10 meters per second. Now, this 10 meters per second is the speed. Speed is equal to distance upon time. The distance would be equal to the length of the train, and the time is going to be 18 seconds. So 180 seconds is equal to the length of the train. Now, a woman is coming from the opposite direction. A woman is coming from the, this is the second equation. The total length is, this is not second, this is meter. Okay. So the distance being traveled when the woman is coming from the opposite direction is 180 meter. The time being taken is equal to 12 seconds. The speed, net speed, is equal to 10 meters per second. No, the net speed is equal to 48 kilometers per hour plus speed of woman. Okay, so I'll quickly convert 48 meters per second into meter, 48 kilometers per hour into 48 into meters per second. Okay, this is 3, this is 6 threes, this is 6 eights. This gives me 40 upon 3 meters per second as my speed, and this is only the speed of the train. So 40 upon 3 plus woman's speed is equal to the distance 180 upon time being 12. This is 12 ones, this is 12 15s. The speed of the woman is nothing but 15 minus 40 by 3, or 45 minus 40 whole upon 3, or 5 by 3 women's is meter per second. Okay, the speed is required in kilometers per hour. I have it in meters per second. 5 by 3 into 18 upon 5. This 5 and 5 would get cancelled. This is 3 ones, this is 3 six. So the answer is 6 kilometers per hour. Okay, the answer is 6 kilometers per hour. I hope it wasn't difficult. Okay, we are doing the same thing. It was done twice. The only difference was there was a minus over here. There was a minus over here due to same direction, and there was a plus. There was a plus over here due to, let me, just a second. There was a plus over here due to opposite directions. Okay, I'll move to the next question. I'll try to take lesser and lesser time so that you are able to understand the importance of solving questions a little more quickly according to the exam time. Okay, a train is running at 26. This takes 18 seconds to pass a platform. Next, it takes 12 seconds to pass a man walking at 5 kilometers per hour in the opposite direction. Find the length of the platform. First, I will solve the second question. Then I will solve the first question because the platform is mentioned in the first area. So let me solve the second one and then come to the first one. The second area says that 26.5 and 5 kilometers in the opposite direction. So the total speed is going to be 26.5 plus 5. These are two opposites. When they are multiplied by 5 by 18, that is how I will achieve the final answer in meters per second. Now, it is taking, I need to find out the distance of the train or the length of the train, and the time being taken is 12 seconds. Okay, I believe everything is under control now. 6 twos are 6 threes are. This comes out to be 31.5. When 31.5 or 315 multiplied by 5 whole upon 3 whole upon 30 multiplied by 2 would be giving me my distance. Okay, so this is 5 ones, this is 5 six, this is 2 ones, this is 2 threes, this is 3 ones, this is 3 105. So 105 is the length of the train. Length of train. It is the length of the train. Now, with this information established, the length of the train plus length of the platform is going to be my total distance. 26.5 is the speed with which the train is running. It would be multiplied by 5 by 18 in order to reach meters per second. Speed is equal to total distance. Total distance is 105. Total distance is 105. Yeah, 105 plus the length of the platform. This is LP, which we were looking for. Length of the, sorry, this is LT. This is the length of the train that we were looking for. Let me write it a little more clearly. This is LT. Okay, LT, length of the train that we were finding out. This is LP that we are talking about now. Whole upon the time is 18 seconds. Okay, quickly, 18 with 18, this is gone with 10. This is 5 ones. Should I change it? The answer is no. Let this 5 remain as 5. This gives me a 5 fives are 25, 5 twos 5 eights are 40, 40, sorry, 5 six are 30, 30. This is 32, and 5 twos are 10. This is 13. This is 132.5 is equal to 105 plus length of platform. This gives me the length of platform to be 27.5 meters. Okay, this gives me the length of the platform to be 27.5 meters, and B is my final answer. Okay. Please take a moment to understand how I did it, and then we'll move further. I think sufficient time has been given. Let me move on. When two trains cross each other and they cover distances, this concept has to be read from here itself, and that is how we will come out of it. After meeting or crossing each other, the time required by the trains to reach their destination is speed 1 upon speed 2 is equal to time 2 upon time 1, which is under root. Okay, V1 and V2 are the speeds of the train, T1 and T2 are the times taken by the train to reach the destination after meeting. Okay, so this is the standard formula which you must remember. This is the second, I won't say most important, but this is the second formula in time, speed, and distance which we are looking at. So, need not worry. This is easy. Okay, we'll just see around 2 to 3 questions of this, and then we'll come back to our same standard formula. Okay, okay. A and B are traveling towards each other from points P and Q respectively. After crossing each other, A takes 6 1 by 8 hours, and B takes 8 hours respectively. This is time. Okay, time 1 and time 2. If the speed of B is 16.8 kilometers per hour, what is the speed of A in kilometers per hour? Okay, I'll do it in the same way. V1 upon V2 is equal to T2 upon T1, whole thing in under root. Okay, this is V1 which needs to be found out. This is V1 which needs to be found out. So V1 whole upon 16.8 is equal to, what is T2? T2 is 8, and 8 6 are 48, 49 upon 8. 49 upon 8, this creates 8 into 8 and a whole under root. So I have V1 upon 16 upon 8, V1 whole upon 16.8 is equal to 8 into 8 whole upon 49. So this gives me a 64 upon 7, sorry, 64 upon 49, which gives me a, which gives me an 8 upon 7 when done with under root. Here V1 would be here and 16.8 would be here. This point would give me a 0 over here. 7 2s are 14, 7 4s are 28. 24 8s are 8 4s are 32. 8 2s is 16. This is 192. This is 19.2. So 19.2 kilometer per hour is the speed. 19.2 kilometer per hour is the speed of A that I'm looking for in the question. Got it? Got it? Let's move on. A and B start moving from place X to Y and Y to X respectively at the same time on the same day. This means they are going to cross each other. After crossing, they complete the remaining journeys in A and B. This is time and this is speed. Okay, the ratio of the speeds are 9 is to 7 and 45 49 upon 9, and the time of B is X hours. 49 upon 9 X hours and 9 is to 7. The what is the value of X? Okay, what is the value of X? I'll quickly do the same thing. 9 upon 7 was the ratio of the speeds, and 49, no, 9 upon 7 is the ratio of the speeds, and X is going to come here. 49 upon 9 is going to go here, and I would have my under root sign here. I would have my under root sign here. So this under root sign is going to come out as x into 3 by 7, and this 9 by 7 is going to remain intact. The 7 and the 7 get cancelled. The 3 and the 9 get cancelled as 3. So the value of x comes out to be 3. Okay, let me see. Huh. This is not x. This is basically root x. So the value of root x is equal to 3. So the value of x when I square on both sides is going to be 9. So the time is going to be 9 hours. You could have committed the same error. So please don't laugh about it if you're laughing. Everybody has some or the other point of learning. So this is a point of learning for all of you to not commit the same mistake in the examination, right? I'll move on. So now we will introduce the element of time. Okay, we will introduce the element of time in the questions. How would we introduce time elements? We would introduce the time elements by saying that a person has to is leaving home at 8 a.m. The other person is leaving home at 10 a.m. So you have to find out the distance gap between the two of them. The distance gap would come in such a manner that for 2 hours, this is A, this is B. The distance gap would come in such a manner that for 2 hours, A was walking alone. Okay, so this is the only distance gap that you can expect. 2 hours A was walking alone. So for 2 hours multiplied by the speed of the train, speed of A, that is how the fresh distance or the extra distance that A has traveled. Okay, and that is how gaps are created between two people who are walking in the same direction, or maybe even starting from the same point, right? I'll move to the question quickly, because questions are the places where you learn. Theory is the area where you understand, but real learning and real solving and real problem solving comes from solving different questions. Okay, I'll quickly move ahead. Okay, a car and a bus were traveling in the same direction. At 7:30 a.m., the car traveling at speed of 72 kilometers per hour, 72 kilometers per hour was 4.2 kilometers behind the bus. At 8 point at 8:15, the car was 15.8 kilometers ahead of the bus. What is the ratio of the speed of the car to the speed of the bus? So we are here with this question where a car and a bus are moving in the same direction. The car is definitely going faster than the bus. That is why after 45 minutes, we can see that the overtake has taken place and a distance of 4.2 plus 15.8 kilometers has been traveled. So I'll use the simple and the most basic formula: speed is equal to distance upon time. Here, the speed of the car is more than that of the speed of the bus, but the net speed is also reduced because they are going in the same direction and the car is going faster. So basically so basically I have to find out the speed of the bus first and then talk about the ratios. I already have the speed of the car as 72. So what I would do is I would write 72 minus b, or the speed of the bus. This is the speed that we are talking about. Talking about the distance being traveled, the distance 15.8 plus 4.2 comes out to be 20 kilometers. So speed is equal to distance upon the time taken in the entire situation is 7:30 to 8:15. That means 45 minutes. This 45 minutes would be divided by 60 to convert it into hours. So this is nothing but 20 upon 3 into 4. This is nothing but 80 upon 3. And I have 72 minus b being equal to 80 upon 3. This would give me 3 to the 6, 216 minus 80 whole upon 3. This would give me a 6, and this would give me a 136 whole upon 3. Okay, 136 whole upon 3 is the speed of the kilometer per hour is the speed of the bus, right? Right. So we have 136 upon 3 as the speed of the bus, and we already have the speed of the car to be 72 kilometers per hour. The ratio needs to be struck out now. So 72 is to 136 whole upon 3. This is should we go with 8? 8 ones are 8, 8 sevens are 15, 6. Yep, 8 ones are 8, 8 sevens are 56, 8 nines are 72. This would come out to be 27 is to 17. The ratio of the speed of the car to that of the bus. 27 is more than 17. 27 is more than 17. So this also establishes the fact that the car is overtaking the bus and the car is faster than the bus. All right, good enough. Let's move ahead. A rides his bicycle at 15 kilometers per hour while B starts his ride 6 hours to catch A with a speed of 25 kilometers per hour. Find the time taken by B to catch A. For 6 hours straight, A for 6 hours straight was riding at 15 kilometers per hour. So 15 multiplied by 6 is equal to 19 kilometers was the gap that was created by B. After that, B started riding. B had to catch up with A, catch up. This is not catch up, okay? Catch up with A. Particularly here, nowhere it is written that A has stopped. A is still riding his bike. Okay, nowhere it is written that A has stopped. A is still riding his bike. By riding his bike, still, there is a speed effect that has been created. By speed effect, I also mean to say there is a net speed effect that has been created. The net speed, which is now the net speed with which B is running after A, is his speed minus A's speed, which is nothing but 10 kilometers per hour. Okay, 10 kilometers per hour is the net speed with which B is catching A. This is the relative speed or the effective speed. So I have 10 kilometers per hour as my speed 10 kilometers per hour as my speed, distance being 90 kilometers. This is a distance that was created because of A running or A going before, okay? And the time needs to be calculated. This gives me my time as 9 hours, which is option A. Okay, I hope everybody understood it, right? Let's move ahead. Uh, so we have talked about them going in the same direction in the other direction. The concepts get different names, but the main foundation remains the same, that speed is equal to distance upon time. When they are coming towards each other, the speeds get added up, the times get shorter. When they are moving in the same direction, the speed gets reduced. Okay, so here I think we've done this question. We've done this question here itself. Okay, so I won't be doing the same question here. This is the same question. Let me see. Yeah, the ratio of the speed of the car of the speed of the bus is given. Different direction, different timings. I have done this as well. Just a second. Yeah, this is the new question. Two cities P and Q are 181 kilometers apart. They are on a straight road. One man starts from point P at 8:30 a.m. He travels towards Q. He travels just a second. He travels towards Q at 30 kilometers per hour. If another man starts from Q at 8:54 and travel towards P at a speed of 35 kilometers per hour, then at what time will they meet? So first of all, at P, somebody is starting at 8:30. Okay, and somebody at Q is starting at 8:54. If somebody has already started from P and after a span of 24 minutes, that guy, let's assume this is person A and this is person B, this person A is now sitting at P dash, which is a new distance, which is a new location. The original distance between P and Q in a straight line is 181 kilometers. The speed with which A is traveling is 30 kilometers per hour. Speed is equal to the distance which I am looking for, and it has traveled for 24 minutes upon 60. 12 twos are 12 fives are this 5 ones are 5 six are, and this is 12. So the distance that has been traveled is 12 kilometers. So the distance between P and P dash is 12 kilometers, right? The distance between P and P dash is 12 kilometers. If another man starts at Q at 8:54 a.m., okay, so now both of them are at the same point. At P dash, we are seeing our watches and the time is 8:54 a.m. here, and the same time 8:54 a.m. is here. Okay, the 12-kilometer distance is there, and the fresh distance between P and Q is 169 kilometers now. Okay, B, alphabet B or person B is traveling towards P, alphabet P. Okay, B for Bulandshahr is traveling to, sorry, B for Ballu or Bittu. B, Bittu is traveling towards Panchkula. Okay, Bittu is now traveling towards Panchkula starting at 8:54, and A or Alpha is moving towards Queensland at 8:54 because it has already covered 12 kilometers distance. Now they are moving towards each other. That means the net speed is going to get added up. Okay, net speed plus plus, this means added up. The first one was at 30, the other one is at 35. So 30 plus 35, it would give me 65 kilometer per hour as the net speed. If I have 65 kilometers per hour as my net speed, then at what time would they meet? Okay, this is the net speed. The distance that they have to travel is 169 kilometers per hour. Sorry, 169 kilometers. So speed is equal to distance upon time. The speed we have here is 65. The distance we have here is 169, and the time needs to be found out. The time would now start from 8:54 a.m. Okay, the time would now start from 8:54 a.m. 13 fives are 13 ones are 13 threes are. This gives me a time of 13 upon 5. I would multiply it by 60 in order to reach the numbers. This is 12 are. This is 13 to, sorry, 12. 13 twos are 26. 13 ones are 13. 156. 156 minutes. When I add 6 minutes over here, I get is 9 o'clock. Okay. When I add a plus 156 minutes need to be added. When I get 60 minutes over here, when I add 6 here, it is 9 o'clock. After 9 o'clock, 2.5 hours. So 10, 11, 11:30. So 11:30 a.m. they would meet. Okay. 11:30 a.m. they would meet. And that is my answer, alphabet, like option A. Okay. Good enough. Moving on. Two vehicles moving on a circular path. Okay. Now, there can be situations in which there is a circular path. In this circular path, there is a vehicle A and there is a vehicle B. Similarly, similar to what we did in the past, if they are moving towards each other, then the speed would add up. Okay, if they are going in the same direction, the speed would get subtracted. Okay, simple enough. And the total length of the track is given. The usual questions which come up over here are the ones which have like what is going to be the meeting time, after how many rounds will they meet. So similar questions come up. I'll take you to the questions to help you better. In a circular race of 2500 meters, a man and a woman start from a point towards opposite directions with speeds of, this is going in this direction, this is going in this direction. They would eventually meet somewhere here. Okay, let's assume this is the meeting point and let's assume this is the start point. This is the main this is the men or the man's starting point, and this is the woman's starting point. The man is running with 37 kilometers per hour speed and the woman is running with 35 kilometers per hour speed. After how much time from the start of the race will they meet for the first time? Okay, they are going in opposite directions, mind you. The total distance that we have to travel is going to be 2500 meters. They are going to meet at some point, and as soon as they meet, the sum of the distances they both would have traveled individually is going to add up to 2500. Why is it so? Because they are not going out of the circular loop, they are staying inside the circular loop. Okay, so I have the distance as 2500 meters. What about the speeds? The net speed is going to be 35 plus 37. This gives me 72 kilometers per hour as net speed. Let me convert it quickly into meters per second. This gives me 20 meters per second as my net speed. After how much time from the start will they meet for the first time? Simple. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Speed is equal to 2500 upon time. After cancellation, this would give me a 125. So the time is equal to 125 seconds. Okay. Time is going to be 125 seconds. Good enough. I'll move on. In this particular question, Malay is walking around a circular field at the rate of 7 rounds per hour, and Neha is running around the same field at 11 rounds per hour, and they have started in the same direction. Okay, so if this is a circular field, this is Malay, and at the same point there is Neha. If both of them are starting at the same point, Malay is definitely going faster because he's doing no, Malay is definitely going slower because he's doing 7 rounds, and Neha is going a little faster because she's doing 11 rounds. So the gap between Malay and Neha is equal to 4 rounds. Okay, this is the gap between Malay and Neha. This gap of 4 rounds is going to be there for 1 hour or 4 rounds per hour. That means if one round has to be followed. So for that one particular round, it's going to take 15 minutes. At the completion of one round, they would be together or they would be crossing each other. So at 2:45 p.m., at 2:45 p.m., they would be starting from the same point, and just 15 minutes after that, just 15 minutes after that, that is at 3 p.m., they would be first crossing. Okay, that there would be the first cross at 3 p.m. Okay, just 15 minutes after, because there was a deficit of 4 rounds, or there was a gap of 4 rounds. This gap of 4 rounds was being done on a per hour basis. So The first round or one round would have taken 15 minutes. So right after 15 minutes, they would both be starting the same round and they would be crossing each other. Okay, good enough. Yep. Yeah. Raju and Sohan started a car from the same point in the same direction and at the same circular track of length 1725 with speeds of this and this respectively. After how much time will they meet? Okay, from the same point in the same direction. Okay, they are also going in the same direction. When people go in the same direction, they have speeds getting minus. Okay, speeds getting subtracted. So this is 18 kilometer per hour net. So when I get an 18 kilometer per hour net, I have to convert it into meters per second, which gives me a 5 meter per second net speed. Again, going with the simplest formula of all, speed is equal to distance upon time, 1725. Speed is equal to distance upon time, 1725 whole upon time. Okay, so this is 5 ones are, this is 5 threes are 15, 5 fours are 20, and 5 fives are 25. So this gives me a time as 3:45 seconds. Okay, so A is the correct option that I'm looking for. Well, good enough. Moving on. Now, talking about the police and the thief, what usually happens in this case is there is a thief who maybe robbed a bank or maybe snatched a chain, and then there is the police. Okay, the police is usually in a vehicle, and the only difference between a police and the thief is that the police comes just a little late, or the thief is always running in the forward direction. The thief is always running in the forward direction, and the police gets to know about it just a little late. That is how the time speed distance concept occurred. Okay, because every time the police was just a little late and the thief used to run forward. But on the positive side, on the much positive side, the thief always gets caught. Okay, the thief always gets caught. So usually there is a time gap. There is a time gap which also creates a distance gap, and we have to calculate the distance gap and the time gap, and we have to also tell as to when and how the police will be able to catch the thief. Okay, this is the thief and this is the police. I have to draw. Okay, this is my biggest skill, maybe. Yes. Moving to this one, a thief was spotted by the policeman from a distance of 225 meters. Okay, this is the police and this is the thief. There is a gap of 2 to 5 meters. When the policeman started the chase, the thief also started running. The only point over here which I would really want you to know is that the thief runs slow and the police goes fast. That is the only position when the police will be able to cover the distance between the thief and the police, and it would also catch the criminal. Okay, so the police and the thief, 2 to 5 meters is the gap. The police started the chase, the thief also started running. If the speed of the thief was 11 kilometers per hour and that of the policeman was 13 kilometers per hour, and that of the thief was 11 kilometer per hour, how far would the thief have run before the police caught them? Okay, so firstly, the distance between the police and the thief which has to be covered is 2 to 5 meters. I need to know the time in which the policeman caught the thief. Okay, I need to know the time in which the policeman caught the thief. That time would be multiplied by 11 kilometers per hour, and that would give me the distance that the thief would have run. Okay, now what is the net speed? The net speed is 13 minus 11, which is 2 kilometers per hour. Speed is equal to distance upon time, the same formula, multiplied by 5 by 18. 2 ones are 2 nines are 5 ones are 5:45 is a 9 into 45. The time is 9 into 45. I am not going to solve it right away. Okay. I'm not going to solve it right away. I have speed being equal to distance upon time. I have the speed being equal to distance upon time. The speed which I have here is 11 kilometers per hour because I already have the time with me. This is 11 kilometers per hour, and this 11 kilometers per hour, the thief was running. The distance needs to be calculated in which the thief was running, and 9 multiplied by 45 is the time. 9 multiplied by 45 is the time that the thief was continuing running. So 11 kilometers per hour has to be converted into meters per second. So this is 5 by 18, and my answer would come in meters. So this is 9 ones are, 9 twos are, and yes, the distance which I have over here is 495. It's 495 into 5 upon 2. This is somewhere around 2500 minus 25, which is 2500 minus 25. This is 2475. 2475 whole upon 2, which is 1, 2, 3. This is 1, 2, 3, 7.5. So 1237.5 is my final answer. Yep, that's pretty much correct. Moving on. A thief is noticed by a police 300 meters. The thief starts running. The police starts chasing. The thief and policeman run at 11 and 13. After running for how many kilometers will the police be able to catch the thief? Okay. Same question. 13 and 11. The net speed is 2. The distance is 300. The time needs to be given. This has to be converted to meters per second. Okay. 5 twos are 10. 1 0 gone. This gives me 540 seconds for which the chase was going on. If for 540 seconds the chase was going on and the police was running with this is time into speed. Okay, time into speed, this would give me the distance of the police. This is time into speed. This is time is 540 seconds, speed is 13 kilometers per hour. 5 by 18 has to be multiplied. 13 ones are, sorry, 18 ones are, 18 threes are 54. Now 13 fives are 65, 65 threes are 195. So for 1950 meters, the police had to run after the thief to catch him. Okay, and the gap of 300 meters, the gap of 300 meters has to be checked now. After running for how many kilometers? The 300 meters, yeah. The gap of 300 meters is already inclusive in 1950. So 195 is my 1.95 is my answer. Right? I'll move on. So in the questions which are going to come up, they are going to have the simple formulas of average speed. Average speed is a simple concept which says total distance needs to be divided by total time. Okay, the total distance needs to be divided by the total time. That is all average speed talks about. So what happens really here in this, I'll tell you. So for a 7-hour journey, the the driver or Ashok drives the first half at 24 kilometers per hour and the second half at 32 kilometers per hour. What is the total distance of the journey? This has to be found out. Now you cannot split this entire situation into two halves of 30 of 3.5 hours each. You have to have a distance which is common to the both of them, which is x each, or the total distance is nothing but 2x. So what we'll do is we'll have the same equation, speed is equal to distance upon time. and time is equal to distance upon speed. So 7 hours is the total time. The distance being calculated in the first half is x. The distance being calculated in the second half is also x. In the first half, the speed was 24. In the next half, the speed was 32. Okay. So this gives me 56x whole upon 24 into 32 is equal to 7. 7 ones are 7. 7 eights are 56. 8 ones are 8. 8 threes are 24. The value of x is 3 twos are 6. 3 threes are 9. Okay. So a total of 96 kilometers of distance was traveled throughout the journey. Okay. Fair enough. Let's move on. A bus travels 150 kilometers in 3 hours and then travels the next 2 hours at 60 kilometers per hour. What is the average speed of the bus? Now, I've already said that the average speed equals total distance whole upon total time. In the first instance, I can see that 150 is the total distance and the total time is 3. In the second instance, the total time has been given as 2 hours, but the total distance hasn't been given. So if a car or if a bus is traveling at 60 kilometers per hour for 2 hours, 60 kilometers per hour for 2 hours, I get the distance as 120 kilometers. So 150 plus 120. This is what I'm looking for. So 270 upon 5, or simply 54 kilometer per hour is the average speed that I'm looking for. Always split the speed into two, sorry, always and always keep the distances together and the time together. Okay, need not work at all with the speed alone, always with distance and time. Okay, this is the third most important formula that you have to learn. The first one was speed is equal to distance upon time. The second one was the time after meeting is inverse of the, sorry, the speed ratio is equal to the inverse of the time ratio under root. And the third one is here, average speed is equal to total distance upon total time. Okay, a truck driver drove at 60 kilometers per hour for 3 hours. Then he stopped for 1 hour and didn't go anywhere. Then he drove for 4 more hours at 60 kilometers per hour. What is the average speed of the driver? 60 for 3, 0 for 1, and then 60 for the next 4. So, talking about the distance and then talking about the time. We already have the time in place. Okay, let's just talk about the distance. The distance is 180 kilometers in the first instance, 0 in the second instance, and 240 in the third instance. This gives me way for a total distance of 420 kilometers, and this gives me way for a total time of 8 hours. Okay, this sum is equal to 8 hours. 420 by 8, the total distance upon total time, is going to be my answer. So 8 5s are 40, 8 2s are 16, and 52.5 kilometer per hour is the average speed that we are looking for. Okay, so 52.5 is my final answer. Moving on. When equal distances are covered by two different speeds, okay, when equal distances are covered by two different speeds, in such a situation you would find that time is never given. It's only said that 60 kilometers per hour was the speed for some distance, and for the same distance 80 kilometer per hour was the speed. Find out the average speed. In such a case, the average speed is going to be 2xy, xy being two different speeds, and 2xy upon x plus y, this being speed average. Okay, this being speed average. Okay, moving on. A person travels from P to Q at a speed of 50 kilometers per hour and returns by increasing his speed by 60%. 60% of 50 is 30. When 50 plus 30 is done, it gives me 80 kilometers per hour as speed. Okay, 50 kilometers per hour and 80 kilometers per hour. These are two set of speeds. What is his average speed for both the trips? The trips are of the same length. The time hasn't been mentioned. I've already given you a cue that when time is not mentioned, that is when this formula is going to come into play. The formula is simple: 2 into 50 into 80 whole upon 50 plus 80, which is 130. 10 and 10 gone. This makes it 10. 800 upon 13. Or I could write it as 13 6 is 78, and then 13 1 is 13, and then 7. Okay, this is my final answer. Good enough? Let's move on. The driver of a car traveling at a speed of 60 km per hour decides to slow down to 40 km per hour after covering half the distance. What is the average speed of their car? Okay, again, again, no time is given. Okay, no time concept is given. That means the average speed would be given by 2xy upon x plus y formula. Okay, uh, which means 2 into 60 into 40 upon 60 plus 40, which is 100. Both of them are gone. 6 4s are 24, 24 2s are 48. So 48 kilometer per hour should be the answer, right? I'll move on. To find any one specific so any speed using linear equations or quadratic equations. I had already talked about it in one question in the past. Okay, I'll quickly take you to the question where I avoided using linear equations or solving quadratic equations because I could see that it would take me a much longer time. So I would also recommend to you to not use a lot of linear equations or even quadratic equations because they're going to eat up a lot of time. Okay, they would eat up a lot of time. Where's the question? Let me search for it. Yeah, this is the one. So here I could have gone into, just a second. Okay, here I could have gone into the situation where s square plus 10s minus 20,000 and then middle term splitting. So we kept it in the original equation format so that we don't face difficulties later. Okay, so try to keep it in the same format. Try not to solve it with linear equations, but eventually you might have to. If you still would have to, I'll try to solve it by helping you. Okay, just a second. Let me go back to the question where we started off from. Yeah, this one. A covered a distance of 240 kilometer at a certain speed. Had his speed been 8 kilometers per hour less, then the time would have been 1 hour more for covering the same distance. How much time in hours will will A take to cover a distance of 480 kilometer at his original speed? Okay, so let me talk about the distance. Okay, A covered a distance of at a certain speed. The speed is equal to 240 upon time. Had the speed been 8 kilometers less, then the time would have been 1 hour more. The time would have been 1 hour more for covering the same distance. How much time would A take to cover this at the original speed? Let me try to equate time in this situation. Time is equal to 240 upon s in the first situation, and time plus 1 hour extra in a situation where 240 is s minus 8. Okay, so what I'll write over here is I'll try to put the value of t in this equation. Here I get that 240 upon s plus 1 is equal to 240 upon s minus 8. Okay, I'll take the one. No, should I move the one? I should move 240 upon s on the other side. Ha. So this one is going to be 240 upon s minus 8 minus 240 upon s. 240 goes here. So 1 upon 240 is equal to s minus s plus 8 whole upon s minus 8 multiplied by s. S and minus s would get cancelled. 8 is going to get multiplied by 240. 8 multiplied by 240. And now I need to find out two numbers which are at a gap of 8, and they would fit in this equation by also giving me a 0 at the end. A 0 at the end. What if I 8 into 240 are the is basically the product which I need to find. If I take a 4 from here, that would give me a 32. Okay, I'm thinking out loud in front of you. If I take an 8 from here, this would give me a 64. Mm, I think that might work. If I split it in 64 and 30, the gap is 34. But if I give 8 2 here, uh, this would give me 60 and 32. Do I still have a chance? I don't think so. So let me introduce the quadratic equation, but in the quadratic equation also I will get stuck. So let me figure out a way to solve it in a different manner. The only Q that I'm able to find out is that one of the numbers is definitely going to have a 0 in the end. Okay, so one of the numbers is definitely going to have a 0 in the end. And no matter if I solve the quadratic equation or not, I will again be stuck at this problem. So if a 0 is necessary to be there at the end, let me take a 5 away from here and apply it here. This makes it 5 8s of 40, and this remains as 48. So when 40 is multiplied by 48, I get the same answer as 8 multiplied by 240, which is s into s minus 8. That means 40 can be my old speed, and 48, no, 40 can be my s minus 8, and 48 can be my old speed. So from this, I have attained my old speed. So the value of s is nothing but 48. Then it is saying how much time will A take to cover a distance of 480 with his original speed. So when speed 48 is equal to distance 480 upon time, so the value of time is nothing but 10 hours that we were looking for. Okay, the value of time is 10 hours that we were looking for. Good enough. Let's move on. Traveling a distance of 1,000 kilometers, a train slowed down due to repairs on the track. Its average speed for the trip reduced by 75 km per hour, and the time of travel increased by 3 hours. Okay, so the time has increased by 3 hours. The distance has remained the same. For 1000 kilometer per hour, for 1000 kilometers, there is a speed, and and the distance need to be added up. Yeah, I think the distance would have to be added up. That is the best approach here. Why? Because there is a constant distance. There is a constant distance that we have. The distance, or I should say, speed is equal to distance upon time. So distance is equal to speed into time. Yeah. So would that be a good approach? So this is the next question that we are looking forward to solve. Again, the entire chapter of time, speed, and distance is going to have the main formula revolving around you. Okay, the main formula is going to revolve around you all the time. There is not going to be much of a difference. There's not going to be much of a difference. Only you'll have to form equations. You'll have to form some standard equations. In these equations, what you have to do is, like in this particular question, traveling at a distance of traveling a distance of 1000 kilometers, a train slowed down due to repairs of the tracks. Its average speed for the trip reduced by 75 kilometers per hour, and the time of travel increased by 3 hours. The original duration of the travel is what? So I'll follow the same approach, that speed is equal to distance upon time. The distance is 1000 kilometers and the time hasn't been specified yet. There is only an increment of time which is mentioned, that the time of travel is increasing by 3 hours and the speed is slowing by 75 kilometers per hour. So what I'll do is I'll quickly write the same thing here. Speed minus 75 is equal to 1000 upon time plus 3. Okay, so this is my equation 1, this is my equation 2. In equation 2 there is a component of speed available, so I'll use this formula. I'll use the formula, or I'll put the value of speed as 1000 upon time. Okay, so 1000 upon time minus 75 is equal to 1000 upon time plus 3. 1000 upon time plus 3. I hope you're able to understand this. Now I'll quickly solve for t, which would give me my final answer. 1000 upon t minus 1000 upon t plus 3 is equal to 75. This 1000 would go here in the denominator and create 75 upon 1000, because 1000 can be taken out common from the numerators on the left hand side. So this would give me t minus 3 minus t whole upon t multiplied by t plus 3, right? So 25 3s are 25, 4 40s are. This t would get cancelled. This is t plus 3. Okay, this t would get cancelled with t. This 3 would get cancelled with this 3. So I am left with 40 being equal to t multiplied by t plus 3. Now I need to have factors of 40 which are at a gap of 3 from each other. So the factors of 40 are 4 into 10. The other factor is 5 into 8. Okay, these are the easiest factors that I could see. The more upcoming factors could be 2 into 20. But I think 5 and 8 do the job for me. 5 and 8 do the job for me. When I say 5, that is the standard time, and then there is an increased time by 3 hours, 5 and 8. So I can say that 5 is my original time. 5 is my original time and 8 is my increased time. The original duration or the original time of the travel has been asked. So 5 is my final answer. Got it? Okay. I hope everybody is like agreeing, is in agreement of this particular question, that this is the most basic and the most fulfilling way to solve it, right? So let's move on. To find the stoppage time of the vehicles, what's usually going to happen is that the train from point A to point B, the train or a car, is going to take a certain amount of time in travel. Let's say it took 10 hours to travel from A to B, but it didn't have so much what should I say, engine capacity, or it didn't have so much of guts to travel the entire distance at once. So it took time. If I say that the total travel distance, no, if I just say that A to B, the total distance was 600 kilometers. It was 600 kilometers. Um, this was the total distance. This was the total time, travel time. But the car had to stop for 4 hours. The car had to stop for 4 hours, and the stoppage was done in four shifts. The stoppage was done in four shifts, like 1 hour each shift. Okay, one, 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 one. There are four shifts in which the car stopped. So if I just look at this raw data, that it took the car, traveling from A to B 600 kilometers and 10 hours, then I can easily presume that 60 kilometers per hour could have been the speed. But in reality, 4 hours it was resting. That means a total 6 hour travel time, or a 6 hour running time was given. If a 6 hour running time was given and a 600-kilometer distance had to be traveled, so because of this equation, I can see that the speed comes out to be 100 kilometers per hour, which is significantly higher, as compared to the average speed which I was considering in the first case. So this is how stoppages affect the speed of the vehicle. If you have longer stoppages, the running time or the running speed, you will have to increase it, because you are stopping to make up for the time, or to keep up with the schedule. You will have to increase your speed. That is something for sure that you'll have to do. So we will have similar questions in this front. We'll have similar questions in this front. Okay. Okay. So a train travels at a speed of 66 kilometers per hour and halts at five junctions for a certain time. It covers 1485 kilometers in one day. For how long in minutes does the train stop at each junction if it halts for the same period of time at all the junctions? So five there are five stoppages. Now, a train is traveling at a speed of 66 kilometers per hour. This is the time. Okay. At 66 kilometers per hour, that is time. That is the speed. And it is traveling 1485 kilometers in one day. If you ask me, you are not able to see the time mentioned very clearly. So the time over here is equal to 24 hours. How did I come to the conclusion? Because it covers this distance, 1485 distance, in one day. So time is equal to 24 hours in this position. Then talking about the speed is 66 kilometers per hour. And I need to find out the time gap which was created. Okay, I need to find out the time gap which was created because of halting. If the speed was 66 kilometers per hour and the distance over here is 1485, then I can easily say that whatever is the running time, for whatever time the train was running, that can be calculated with the simple formula of speed is equal to distance upon time. The time is not going to be 24 hours, because 24 hours is including running plus stopping. It is including both the times, running as well as stopping. So speed is equal to 66. The distance is equal to 1485, and this time is nothing but the running time. Okay, I'll quickly solve it. 11 6 is 66, 11 1 is 11, 11 3 is 33, 11 5 is 55. Then talking about 6 one more time, 6 2 is 12, 6 2 is 12, 22.5. The train running time is 22.5 hours. Okay, the train running time is 22.5 hours, but the total time, this is TT, the total time that we are talking about is 24 hours, right? The total time we are talking about according to the question is 24 hours. So when I have 24 hours in my kitty, and I have when I have 24 hours in my kitty and I am running 22.5 kilometers per hour, then what is the time that I am resting? The gap between the two, which is equal to 1.5 hours. I am resting for 1.5 hours. This resting or the halts or the stoppages are uniform across all the 5 halts. So this 1.5 hours halting at 5 different stations for the same period of time would give me zero point 0.3 hours as the halting time for each station. This zero point 0.3 has to be multiplied by 6 by 60 so as to achieve 18 minutes. Why did I multiply by 16? Because zero point 0.3 hours has to be converted into minutes. So 18 minutes is the halt time for each junction. All right, 18 minutes is the halt time for each junction. I'm sorry, yeah. Moving on. Kabir climbs up a hill at the speed of 3 miles per hour and comes back at 5 miles per hour. If the total time taken for the entire journey or the total journey is 10 hours, then what was the distance between the hilltop and the foothills? So let's assume that x was the distance. It went x up and it came x down. When it was going x up, it used 3 miles per hour. When it came x down, it used 5 miles per hour. So if I'm using distance upon speed, that would be equal to time. Why? Because my standard formula space says speed is equal to distance upon time, and juggling with it or like tinkering with it, I get distance upon speed is equal to time. The distance I have considered as x, the speed is 3 plus, because this thing becomes the uphill time, and x upon 5 becomes the downhill time. So both the times together make up for 10 hours of total journey. This means 8x upon 15 is equal to 10. So the value of x is equal to 150 upon 8. It has asked me the distance between the hilltop and the foothills. So 150 upon 8 gives me 8 ones are 8 and then 18.75. 18.75 miles. So 18.75 or option C is my answer. Okay, good enough. Let's move on. Now talking about a few races. There are 3 people who are running at the same time, A, B, and C. The total length of the race is 1500 meters. Anil is beating Bakul by 150 meters. What does it mean? If the race was supposed to end at the 1500-meter mark, A was the one who was pretty fast and reached the 1500-meter mark much before Bakul, but Bakul was still standing 150 meters away, 150 meters away from the finish line. That means Bakul could do a distance of 1350 meters only in the same time in which A had completed his 1500 meters. You get this? In in the same mode, when Bakul completed his 1500-meter journey, Charles was standing 75 meters away from the finish line. That means he was standing at 1425 meters. Okay, he was 75 meters away from the finish line. So, by what distance did Anil beat Charles? Okay, By what distance did Anil beat Charles? This question is not very heavily related to time speed distance. This question can be worked out with the help of this question can be helped out with the this question can be worked out with the help of ratios. Okay, so the distance ratios needs to be calculated. Okay, the the distance ratios need to be calculated. What do the distance ratios talk about? The distance ratios are going to talk about a very specific issue, and the specific issue is this. When A had completed its 1500 meters, B was sitting at 1350 meters mark. When B had completed his 1500 meters, then C was sitting at 1425 meters mark. Okay, so this now is converted into the format of a ratio. Okay, this now has converted itself into the format of a ratio where A is to B is to C is being compared. Okay, A is to B is to C is being compared. In ratios, I have spoken about the neighborhood method. So this 1350 would reach here, and this 1500 would reach here. And when I multiply in a vertical fashion, that is how I will reach the ratios. I will also give you a shorter way of solving it. I'll quickly cancel out the things which are common everywhere. Okay. So I have the table of 15 everywhere. So this is 1500 and this is 1590 and this is also 90. So the table of 15 could cancel out everything here. Do I have another chance of using it? I guess so. I will use a different pen for that. Another 15 would give me 100 here. Another 15 would give me 100 here. And another 15 would give me a 15 nines are 135 and 15 fives are 75. Do I have more ways of solving it? I'll take out 1 0. I'll use a different pen for that. Okay, I'll take out 1 0 from here, another 0 from here, and last 0 from here. Do I still have a chance? Yes, I have it. I'll take 5 twos are 10, 5 twos are 10, and 5 19s are 45. So I have 19 nines, which is nothing but 171. I'll take 92s, which is 180. And I'll take 100 twos, which is 200. I have reduced the entire question to the minimum possible ratio. 200 is to 180 is to 171. Okay, this is the minimum possible ratio. So now comes the very interesting part. The part talks about how, had the race been of 200 meters, then A would have, had the race been of 200 meters, A would have completed his 200 meters most quickly. Then B would have lagged 20 meters. B would have lagged 20 meters and C would have lagged 29 meters. Okay. So if the race was 200 meters long, A against C would have lagged 29 meters. So if I convert this race into a 1500-meter race, so something has to be multiplied in 29. Something has to be multiplied in 29 so as to make the race bigger. So 29 upon 200 would be multiplied by 1500. The two zeros get cancelled. 15 threes are 45. 450 minus 15 gives me 435. So 435 whole upon 2. 435 whole upon 2. And 2 twos are 4. 2 ones are 2. And 2 sevens are 14.5. So 217.5 meters is the distance by which Anil would beat Charles. Okay, this is the distance by which Anil would beat Charles. Okay, good enough. Let me move on. In a 1200-meter race, Rakesh reaches the final point in 36 seconds and Rajesh reaches in 46 seconds. By how much distance does Rakesh beat Rajesh? Um, Let me quickly first give you the same. I hope you're able to understand this portion of this portion of the entire equation, but you can reach this portion much quicker. I'll tell you how. 150 is 10% of 1500. So with A ratio B, I can say that this is 10 ratio 9 because there is a gap of 10%. Okay, so the gap of 10% translates it into 10 is to 9. Similarly, and this is a 75-meter thing. So 75-meter is a 5% of 15 meters. So between B and C, there is a gap of 20 is to 19. I'll shift the ratios. I'll shift the ratios. And now I can easily reach 200 is to 180 is to 171. Okay, so this was the shortcut. This was the shortcut that I was talking about. Now, coming back to the question which was under discussion, 1200 meters is the race. Rakesh, or I would call it K, K is 1200 meters. Okay, 1200 meters, and this is the distance. This is the time. The time is going to be 36 seconds. And J, which is Rajesh, is also running 1200 meters in 40 seconds. What do I need to talk about here? By how much distance did Rakesh beat Rajesh? By how much distance did Rakesh beat Rajesh? For this situation, you have to stop the race at 36 seconds. Rajesh is running 1200 meters at 40 seconds. That means he will not complete the race. He will not complete the race. He would have to be stopped at 36 seconds. So, if the speed of Rajesh needs to be calculated, if the speed of Rajesh needs to be calculated, that has to be done in the fashion of distance upon time. The distance is 1200 upon 40. This gets cancelled. This means he is running at the speed of 30 meters per second. This means he is running at the speed of 30 meters per second. This is the speed he is running at. But the time for which, the new time for which he would run the race would be 36 seconds. Okay. So with the speed of 30 meters per second, if he is running for 36 seconds, the speed is going to be distance upon time again. The speed is going to be distance upon time again. I need to calculate the distance this time. The distance is going to be speed into time. 30 meters per second is the speed. 36 seconds is the time. This would give me 1080 as the 1080 meters as the distance. Okay, 1080 meters as the distance. So this 1080 meters is something which I have, and the total race was 1200 meters long. This means that Rajesh was stopped 120 meters before finishing the race. So that is the distance by which Rakesh beated Rajesh. Okay, the distance between Rakesh and Rajesh, let's say this is K and this is J, and K reached the finish line and Rajesh was left 120 meters behind. Okay, Rajesh was left 120 meters behind, which is my final answer. I would request everybody to thoroughly go through the entire PDF, solve each and every question at least 3 or 4 times for the ones who are new. The main formulas which we covered during our entire situation was the most simple formula. The first one being speed is equal to distance upon time. The first one being speed is equal to distance upon time. The second one being mm, the second one being the ratio between two distances after passing each other, which was speed 1 upon speed 2 is equal to root of, no, distance 1 upon distance 2. I'll just, yeah, speed 1 upon speed 2 is equal to the root of time 2 upon time 1. Okay, this is a very important formula which you may need to memorize. Then coming forward, there wasn't much. We only know how to solve the questions which are going in the opposite directions, in the same directions. The speed gets added, the speed gets subtracted. Okay. And no, there isn't uh, much. Should I solve this question? No, this is the same question that we've done the same question in the past. Okay. So quickly moving on. um no, average speed, yeah. Average speed is equal to total distance upon total time. This is another formula which is important. So only three formulas are important. Speed is equal to distance upon time. Average speed is total distance upon total time. And the third one being the speed 1 upon speed 2 is equal to time 2 upon time 1. And the time 2 upon time 1 is in root. Okay. So that's pretty much it. And also one very important formula, the average speed is equal to 2xy upon x plus y when the distances are being same, when the distances being traveled are same. Okay. Okay, I hope I've covered almost everything. We've also done races, circular races. So we are good to go. Right? Thank you so much for coming for the session. Do leave some comments in the end so that we know how to improve ourselves. All right. Thank you.